Good morning, everybody. It's a cold day here in Kansas, so I figured it's a good day to be inside and work on my truck. So I'm gonna work on the back seat here, and I'm not really sure. I don't think I want to take this thing completely apart and build a new one. I'm just gonna expand upon what's here. And the main thing that I wanna do is I wanna alleviate the fact that this slides forward. So if you look here, let's go on the back here and see. I don't know if you can see down there, it's kind of dark. I need to get some lighting in here. But essentially what happens is this thing will slide. Let's see if I can push it in. It'll slide out like this because I don't have it attached to anything on the back. And I think the best way that I want to go about doing this is there are screws down here at the base of the seats, and those screws screw into the frame. And so I could easily put some brackets on there, and then I've got some extra wood over here from a long time ago when I did the build out. A little bit of clutter in here, which is not my style, but I could use these, and then there's some plywood and stuff like that, and just make a more secure like foundation for it, so that's not, excuse me, so that's not sliding around. Because I want to pare down more gear and not carry so much stuff, so I can leave these open areas here just kind of free of things. And then if I want to put some stuff in there, you know, I can. But I don't think I'm going to carry my fly fishing gear this winter, just because it's winter time and I won't be out in conditions for fly fishing. And I think I'm also not going to carry my drop down room this winter because it's pretty big and it takes up a bunch of room in the back seat, and it's just it's big to store. And so with me carrying my winter tent and that whole setup this winter, I just want to have it to where I just don't have a whole lot of stuff in there. I don't think I'm going to carry my backpacking gear this winter either. And so it's just going to be strictly winter camping gear and truck camping gear, and that's it. So, but like I said today, the mission is, or the goal is just to kind of secure the back there, and then figure out some more storage as well, because you know I've kind of got some dead space, and this area right here, these are the glow sticks from last night at my cousin's wedding that I went to, which was a ton of fun. But I've kind of got some dead space right here, and I'm wanting to figure out what I want to do with that. I may bring this. Actually, no, I won't do that. I was thinking maybe bringing it out here, but I like to be able to lay my seat back and work on my computer if I'm like stuck in rain and I don't want to get in the top or anything like that. But underneath here, you can kind of see how I set this up. This just simply rests on here, and so I want to create something that braces this part back here, like I was saying, down to this. So maybe create something that comes out this way and then comes down and then goes across, and I can create another bracket that comes up here to really secure this, because I want to have it to where like the fridge and everything doesn't slide around. So another thing I want to do is I want to put some more rubber padding down here and around the brackets here, because this has a tendency on 4x4 trails, if there's not much in here, the fridge will kind of rock back and forth, and I don't want that to happen. And so I'm gonna do a little bit today. I'm not gonna get it all done. The Chiefs game is on at 3:45 or 3:25, and they're playing the Patriots, and the Patriots, you know, they're kind of having a tough year with their offense, so I'm hoping the Chiefs are able to go in there and get a victory. So anyway, gonna work on this and see what I can come up with. I still have these awesome treats left over from my cousin's wedding last weekend. Hell yeah! I've already been pounding this one here. This is like a cheesecake thing with some strawberry on it. Super good. Alright, so there's a little hole right there. You can see where the light's coming in, and I've got the hole drilled. Oops. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in here, and what it does is it holds this into place, so it's not gonna, it's gonna move a little bit, but I think if I get that cinched down pretty good, we'll be in good shape. And what I plan to do is use these little needle nose pliers and hold some of the nuts in place underneath, and then screw this down, and then I've got some locking washers to do that as well, so that it won't move very much, and hopefully that'll help a little bit. It's just going to help stabilize it, but I've got to do a lot more to secure this. So we're going to continue working and think of different things to make it to where this doesn't really slide around much, because the problem was when I go on 4x4 trails that were steep going downhill, all this thing would slide forward, and I don't want that to happen anymore, because then the gear underneath here kind of gets disorganized and all that stuff. So going to continue troubleshooting this. Alright, so I've determined that I want to put a few brackets here, or a few supports here that basically push right up against the center console. And the only thing that I need to do other than that is I may forego making the bottom supports and just figure out the supports over here, because I've got these screws, these screw holes. Oops, I don't know if you can see them right there. And I could figure out a bracket that I can make for this that comes over maybe like a U bracket or something like that, and have it fit into that little hole there. And I've got those. I saved all the screws from when I took out the seats, but I want to put. I've got another one here. I want to put another support, just like that. And that way it kind of holds it back in place. And then I need to figure out a way that this doesn't like slide back and forth, but it's a lot more sturdy than it was before. It's not coming forward hardly at all. And once I put this other one into place here, it'll hold it in place. And that'll be good. And then if there's any sort of rubbing on the center console, I can put like a, you know, some sort of rubber flashing right there and make sure that it doesn't rub too much. But I think it'll be okay. And then what I want to do also is I want to carpet this. And so I'll figure out some sort of carpeting that I can put down that's waterproof. That way if I want to throw gear back here, or if Sierra has an accident, then we're good to go. And then I want to figure out some insulation for the back there, because a lot of road noise comes in through the back portion of the area here that I took out. This was all filled with insulation prior to me ripping out the seats. So I've got some storage room back here that I could utilize, and I think once I put that, that's probably just like a spray on insulation or something like that. I'll have to go to Menards and figure out what I can get, but spray some stuff back there and just make it real nice and kind of sealed off. I think they'll cut down on the road noise a bunch. And then need to figure out what to do. Like I was saying, I want to mount the Dometic fridge a little bit differently than what it's been mounted in the past, just because when I'm on 4x4 trails, that thing tends to like really kind of rock back and forth. And so I'll probably I've got some more 1x2s here, probably use some more of these and make it a little bit better of a base around there. And then I want to figure out the best place to mount my WeBoost Drive Connect cell phone booster, because this thing's freaking awesome, and that's what I use for all my connectivity in the backcountry. So this isn't going to be like a massive project today. It's just kind of figuring out just the best way to troubleshoot everything and get it all squared away. But like I said, I've got plenty of wood over here, and I need to go through my stuff and kind of clean it up. I'm going to downsize again before I hit the road, because I've got my big tent right here, obviously the wood stove next to it. Here's the drop down room. I'm not going to carry that anymore, and I want to go through all my backpacking gear and pare that down, and then pare down my cooking stuff. I think what I might do going forward is I'll carry the gas stove just in case if I need a backup, but I'm going to start using this BioLite stove continuously, just because it's eco-friendly, it creates energy, and it just runs off of just biomass, like, you know, wood chips and things like that. It doesn't take a whole lot of fuel or a whole lot of biomass to run it, and then you can cook stuff on here. So I'm gonna probably use that going forward as my primary stove, and just try to be as minimal as possible, because I hate throwing, let's see where they at. I hate throwing these things into the landfill. And I know you can get something to fill these back up, but then I'd have to carry a larger propane tank with me, and I don't want to do that. So I think I'll carry this in the backup situations, just in case if it's like bad weather, and use this in conjunction with my old beat up Coleman stove that just keeps plugging away. And then use the BioLite camp stove too as my primary one. Because the nice thing about this too is, let me get this out, I'll show you this real quick, is that it's got a, put it down here. So it's got a way to make energy. So you put it together like this. Whoops. Oh, come on. There we go. Put it together like this. You got your command station in the front. It's already all the way charged up. You can charge devices via the USB plug right there, and that's really convenient. And then when you get your stove going, you can control the different wind speeds that are for the interior here. And let me turn on my headlamp and I'll show you what the interior of it looks like. So what happens is all the heat comes up, and then this part here, once it gets warm enough, it starts to charge up the battery in here, and you're good to go. And this is the indicator for how good your flame is going. So I want to use this going forward, just because, like I said, I hate throwing those one pound propane tanks into the landfill all the time. I don't want to contribute to that. So anyway, let's get back to the truck. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I've been working on this to finally put the covering over the back here. And also, I don't know if you can see it, you can't really, but the video that I made earlier, or the shots I did earlier, kind of show the braces that I've put in here for the back seat. And then I took out the fridge right here because I'm gonna make some different just ways to secure it into place. And I think that I'm gonna go ahead and use the same type of rubber mats. I got these at Menards. They're like $8 for a pack of 4 of them, and they're interlocking, if you can see here. These things kind of lock into place. But I'm gonna do it underneath here too, and that way, that's where I put like my cast iron stove, or cast iron skillets and some other cookware. And I don't want it banging around. Like if I was on a trail and it was kind of like bouncy like this, you'd hear the stove or the cookware kind of banging around. So anyway, I'm gonna keep working on this tonight, and then I'm gonna head out tomorrow. I've got to take, one thing I want to mention, the reason why I'm back in Kansas is my mom had her knee replaced, and so she can't put any weight on it. And then right after her knee was replaced, her dog, Sadie, is a 70 pound, or about 75 pound lab, and Sadie tore her ACL. And so we just had surgery on Sadie, and during the week I'm here to help out with my mom, just to get Sadie outside so she can go to the bathroom and all that stuff, because my mom can't lift her up. And so I've been doing that. I'll be here for probably another month or two until that gets all squared away, and so that's why I've been back in Kansas. But got a lot of my stuff already packed up in here. I love the way things are. Let me see if I can get this. I can't really get the lighting in there. I've got my tent here, wood stoves right here. I can't really see it, but I've got my bedroll right there, and then I've got the foam mattress. So I'm just looking to pare down everything, and I've got all my gear right here. I mean, this is all my dad's crap over here. He's got so much, it's like hoarder status. If you're watching, Dad, sorry, but you need to go through your stuff and get rid of it. And I'm gonna just go through all this stuff here that I have, the stuff that I'm not using, and probably just toss it, because it's just, I mean, it's old gear, some of it's beat up. Oh, another thing too is I got this compressed wood. So this is hardwood sawdust that has been compressed into blocks, and apparently this is really good for the wood stove. And then I've got some additional hardwood here that I just bought over at Menards. This stuff is cheap. I mean, for 6 of these, let me show you. It's do it like this. So it's volunteer wood brick, and it says safe, burns hot, hotter, cleaner, all that stuff. It's safe for the stoves. It's 21 pounds of sawdust, and it's not glued together, and so there's no chemicals that happens. It's just the sawdust itself, all the just material and natural resin that's in the sawdust helps it compress into really great hardwood to use in the stove. So I'm gonna try that out when I head up to go where I'm camping. I'm not really sure where I'm gonna go. I was thinking about going to Manhattan, Kansas, where I went to school, but they had a bunch of flooding last year up by Tuttle Reservoir, and that's where I was gonna go to winter camp. And I realized, I'm like, heck man, I don't wanna roll up there tomorrow. We gotta take Sadie in to the vet for a follow-up appointment 2 days after her, or 3 days after her surgery. And that's at 1:30, so we probably won't get back here at 2:30 or 3, and then I'm gonna head out from here. And if I go up to Manhattan, it's a 2.5 hour drive to where I was gonna go camp. And the problem with that is I don't wanna roll up after dark, and all the areas that I was going to camp in have been affected by the floods up there. So I may just go somewhere else around here. But definitely wanna get out and go winter camp, because we're supposed to get a storm here. The storm's hitting Colorado right now. They're expecting a couple feet up in the mountains. I sure wish I was there to take advantage of the awesome winter conditions, but we're gonna get a storm here too, and I want to go see my cousin Jake and his wife Emily and their new addition to their family. They live up in Manhattan, so it'll be cool to go check out my old college town. I just don't think I'm gonna camp up there. So I'm excited to get on the road and do some more camping. But first, I just want to get this back area taken care of, and just using liquid nails to secure these little mats down, and then I'm good to go. So gonna crank on this and then head out tomorrow. All right, pretty much done for the night. Got some glue that's setting up, and then some liquid nails on here. Got this to go all the way to the back here, which is great. So I've got full coverage all the way to the back. And then underneath here, still need to put some, you can't really see it, but right here, there's, oh, my coffee deal. Underneath the little shelf here, back in this area, there's padding on the back, so kettles and different cook gear. This thing. What am I trying to say? The skillets won't be banging up against the steel in the back. I still want to do some insulation though for like all this right here, so I got to figure that out. So I'll probably do some spray foam insulation and be good to go. This is where I have my mobile Wi-Fi router. That's actually, let's see, where's it at? It's right here. I'll show you how this thing mounts on here. Just goes like that, clips on. Boom, that's good to go. And then I've got my cell phone booster, the WeBoost, right here, and I'll probably put that back behind here, or maybe on the front of this, I don't know. But that's where Sierra sits. This is where the fridge is gonna be. Storage underneath here for all of my stuff for cooking. Probably do the swivel out table right here, latch it to here somehow, and then have this area just for food prep, and then cook anything with like bacon and stuff like that outside of the truck so I don't get a bunch of smells in there. But I like the way it's looking so far, and the nice thing about this too is it's waterproof. So looking good. Still have some more work to do though.